So it says to Rav Sheshes on the bottom of 67b, my time was sign Margaban. How come you're not eating the meal with us? I'm away. Because your servants are no good. They're suspected of the sin of eating a limb from an animal. Amalei mi Amar, he said, who told you this? He said, I'll prove it to you. Amalei he said, I'll show it to you. Amalei l'shama, he says to his attendant, Zil Ganov, he says to his attendant, go steal something for me. I see he says, go bring me one of the legs of the animal. So let's say whatever kind of animal they had, the servant stole for him one of the legs. I see, and then they brought him the animal to eat. He said, well, before I eat it, show me how the animal looked while it was alive, meaning set it all up. So they brought him the three legs of the animal because they couldn't find the fourth. And they put it in front of him. He says, this is an animal which has three legs on it. So Pasuk Aisu Chad Me Alma Osivu Kamei. So then they went out and they got him an animal from the rest of like they just took a leg from another animal and they brought it in front of them. Osivu Kamei. So then that's how they made the fourth. So Amalei Shame. So he says to his attendant, Osuvi Nami Lahachti Dach. So he says, bring out the leg that you stole. And so Usfa, and he put it in front of him. Amalu Hai Bas Chamesh. He says, now you see you have five legs. Chamesh are gone. 5 legs on this animal. Hai Bas Chamesh are gone. Amalei Yachi Liavdu Kamei Demar V'lecha. So he clearly showed that they were liars. So the Reish Gut said to Rav Sheshes, okay, let them prepare the food in front of you so you can eat it. Amalei L'chaya. He said, okay. So Krevu Taka Kamaya, they brought a table in front of him. Vaisu Kamei Bisra, they brought in front of him the meat. Vosivu Kamei Ristina Dechanka Chamasa. They brought it before him a bone that it was very easy to choke on. It's called a mother-in-law bone because they once choked they used to feed to their mother-in-laws when they wanted to kill them. That's what the commentaries say. A choking bone they give to the mother-in-law. Yeah, I know. So Geshashe, he felt it. Rav Sheshes was blind. He felt what they were trying to do to him. V'shakla karcha b'sudre, and he wrapped it up in his handkerchief. Levaser da'achil. Then after they ate, Amrulay, they said to him, after he ate, they said to him, Igniv one kasa the kaspa. They accused him of stealing her silver cup. But when they're looking through his stuff, they found his bone and they found the meat in his handkerchief. He says, look, he didn't come to eat. Look, he's coming to harass us. So Rav Sheshes says, no, I ate. I tasted that this animal was sick. It had this white spots on it. So he says to him, so they said to him, no way. They said, we didn't serve you any sick animals with these white spots. He said, go check the animal in the place where you cut it. If he has black on white or white on black, it's animal sick. They went out and they found it. So they went and they found it. So meaning he saw that they were trying to feed him animals that weren't healthy. Kikanafik, when he went out, Karale Bira, they dug a pit, Vishadu Sifta Ilave, and they threw a rug on it. And they said to him, Leisimar. They said, okay, come on, let's go. So basically they're trying to catch him by him falling into like an ambush where a pit, which with a rug on it, then he'd fall into the pit and hurt himself. So as he's going to walk out, they said, let's go walk out. So at that moment, Rav Chisda made like a Nachir is like when a horse neighs. So Rav Chisda did like a clearing of the throat behind him. He said, so Rav Sheshes was blind, but he understood something was up. So he says to a child, Stokli Psukech. So the rabbis in the Gemara understood this is like a little bit like the Goral Agra. If they say to a person who's studying Torah, what's the pasuk you're learning today? They say, oh, that's an indication that whatever pasuk you're learning is an indication of the it's a sign from Hashem. So he says, tell me what pasuk you're learning today. So he says, the pasuk is Netelecha Yamincha Al Smocha. Go to your right or to your left. Amalei Lashame, he says to his attendant, so he says, Michael Chazis, he says, what do you see? He says, Amalei Tzipisa Deshadre. He says, I see that there is a rug that's placed upon the earth. Amalei Hadar Minei. So he says, go the other way. After they came out, Amalei, he says to Rav Chisda, Mina v'yada. So Amalei Rav Chisda says to Rav Sheshes, Mina v'yada mar. How'd you know? Amalei Chad the Nachali. First of all, you made like you cleared your throat. Number two, Chad the Nachali mar. Number two, oh the pasukli Yanuka, the child gave me the verse. The Chashidi Avdi Lomaili. These servants are no good, so I suspected them. So now we've been talking about demons. So therefore, the Gemara tells us a story about demons. The pasuk says, "Asiti li." Shlomo Melech says, "Asiti li, sharim v'sharos." I made for myself music from men and women, v'tanugos and the lights, b'nei adam, sadeh, shida v'shidot. Shida v'shidot. So what does this mean when it says shida v'shidot? That's the pasuk. Shar v'sharos, we understand they will mean the zemer. This is musical or instruments. Tanugos b'nei adam el brechos and marchatzos. Shlomo Melech made use of pools and bathhouses. Shida v'shidos. What does this mean? Hachi tirgamu shida v'shidasim. This here they say that this refers to male and female demons. B'ma'arava amra. Shidasa refers to carriages. So that it was a carriage, Rashi says, to carry men and women. Some say that this means Shlomo Melech invented a motorized carriage. That's what some say. Amar Rav Yochanan, so how did he use male and female demons? Amar Rav Yochanan, Shalosh meos midei shidim, shedim, hayu b'shichen, v'sheda atzma ina yodea mahi. So he says there were 300 demons in this town called Shichen, and the demon itself, I don't know what it looks like or what its nature is. So that's what Rabbi Yochanan says. I don't know what a demon is. Amar Marahachi Targimu Shida v'Shidasan, Shida v'Shidasin. Here they translated it Lamai. So here they explained that it was a male and a female demon. And what does Shlomo use it for? Lamai Baile. What do you need it? Tersiv Abayis Bibanoso. Evan Shlema, the temple when it was built had to be built with Evan Shlema Malsa Nivneh. It has to be built out with stones that were whole and that they were not hewn out from iron. So Amru Rabbanon Hechayavid. So Shlomo Melech said to the rabbis, how am I going to do this? Amru Lai, they said to him, Ika Shamira, the icy Moshe La'avnei Ephod. He said there was a Shamir, a special animal that Moshe brought for the stones of the Ephod, that it can make the stones engraved with the names of the tribes, but yet at the same time, the stones would not get diminished. Amaro, he said to them, he said to them, where am I going to find this Shamir? Amaro, I see Shida v'Shidasin. Bring the male and female demons and Kavshinu Adadi and press them against each other. Evshur diyadi u'megalocha. Maybe they'll know about it and they'll reveal the secret to you of where the Shamir is. I see Shida v'Shidasin. So Shlomo Melech brought this male and female demons. By the way, if you sneeze 7 times, it's a sign of a demon. Sneezing has to do with demons. That's what they said. It's another Gemara. We have to look it up. That's because we're studying the Gemara about the demons. So the Gemara says, I see Shida v'Shidasin, Kavshinu Adadi. He says, after the Yadu Megalacha. So he brought the male and the female demons, Kavshinu Adadi, Amri. They said, Anan lo Yadina. We don't know where where the Shamir is. Dilma Ashmadai Malka de Shidi Yadi. Maybe Ashmadai is the king of the demons. He'll know. He says, where is he? Isa Betura Puan. So he says he's in the mountain of such and such a mountain. Karyale Birya Umalyale. So at that moment, so he says it's in this mountain. So what did he do? So and they said about Ashmadai that every day Karyale Bira, he has a well there. He dug in the well and fills it with water. Milchsaya betinra, and he covers it up with a special stone every day. And what does he do? After he covers it up, he seals it with his special seal. And then he uncovers it. He drinks and covers it up. He seals it. So he does it every single day. He goes up to the Shemayim. He learns in the yeshiva. He goes back to the ground. He learns in the yeshiva, and heaven in the yeshiva of the ground. So this is what is Hashmadai doing every day? He's studying in yeshiva. It proves just so you're studying in yeshiva doesn't mean you're not a demon. You can have a demon sitting next to you in yeshiva. Even in the yeshiva Shemayim, you have a demon. So Shadri B'nayo ben Yoyada, he sent B'nayo. So Shlomo Melech sent his general B'nayo ben Yoyada. He gave him a chain that has God's name on it. He gave him a ring, the Hashem, that has God's name on it. And a woolen ball. And a flask of wine. Also karabira. So what did Benayo do? He dug a well mitatai underneath it. V'shafanu and Maya. He siphoned out the water from Ashmandai's well. V'satminu begavavi da'amra. And he filled it up with the woolen bowl. Then he dug a well above Ashmandai's well, and he poured wine into it, vitaminu, and then he filled up Ashmandai's well with the wine. Salak Yosef B'Yuana. So Benayo went to sit in the tree. He also Saire Gushpanka. When Ashmedai came, he removed his ring. Galye Ashkechei Chamra, he found instead of water there was wine. Amar Ksiv, he says it states Leitz Hayayin Homa Shecher Bekol Shoga Balo Yakam. He says somebody who's a scoffer, he will drink the wine, and whoever drinks it will not become wise. Ksiv's Nus V'Yayin V'Tiro Shikach Leiv. He says lasciviousness, wine removes a person's heart. Lo ishti. Says, I'm not going to drink. Kitzachi. But then what happened after a while, it became very thirsty. Lo sagile. And he didn't have any water. Ishti. So then Ravi got drunk, Vigana, and he fell asleep. Nachas asa. So Benayahu came down from the tree. Shada beishu shiltai, threw the chain over Ashmedai. Satme, locked him up. When he woke up, Ashmedai was about to break the chain. Amalei, Shma Demarach Halayach, Shma Demarach Halach. He screamed out God's name upon you. So then he caught him that way. So he caught Ashmedai. He caught Ashmedai. Kinakalei v'asi. So Ben Yoda picked up Ashmedai to take him back to Shlomo. They came on their path and they came to a palm tree. Ashmedai cut it down. Then they kept walking. They came to a house. Shaji, he knocked down the tree, the house. Mata Gabe Kuba, they came to a small house which belonged to a widow. Nafka, the widow went out to him and Yichananalei. And so the widow came running up to him and say, please don't knock down my house. So he bent down and he didn't knock down her house. Itbar Be Garma. Then when he broke a bone, Amar Hainu Duchsiv. And so Shmadai says, this is what it makes states in Mishlei, Lashon Rakat Tishbar Garim. A smooth tongue will break a bone. Meaning to say, because this woman requested in a soft heart, therefore my bone broke. Chaza Samya Davikai Taiba Orcha. He saw a blind man who was lost. Aske Orcha. Ashmadai helped him back on the road. Chaza Ravya, he saw a drunk Davikai Taiba Orcha. He saw a drunk man on the road. Aske Orcha. He helped him back on the road. He saw a wedding. They were very happy. He started to cry. He heard a man who said to a shoemaker, make me shoes for 7 years. He started to laugh. He saw a magician that was doing magic. He laughed. I was going to explain everything. When the Ashwadai came to Shlomo Melech, Shlomo didn't take him up to see him for the first 3 days. The first day Ashwadai said to the people of the palace, why isn't the king taking me to him? He said he's drunk. Yeah, Shlomo drank too much. He took one brick, Ashwadai took a brick, put it on the other one. Also, it's a meaning to say, they said, Shlomo, this is what he did. He's telling you what to do. Give the king more wine. If you have a hangover, the answer is drink more wine. The next day, Ashwadai said to him, why are you not bringing me to the king? He says, he's sick from eating too much. He took another brick and from that pile and he put it on the ground. Also, they're telling you that if you ate too much, take away his food. After 3 days, they brought him up. Ashwadai took a reed, measured himself 4 amos, and threw it in front of him. He says, the reason why I did that is because when you're going to die, even though you're Shlomo Melech, all you get when you die is your arba amos, your 4 amos. But now, even though when you die you only have 4 amos, you weren't happy. You conquered the whole world. You weren't happy until you conquered me. Shlomo says, no, that's not it. He says, Shlomo said, I don't want anything from you, just one thing. But I just want to build the base of Mikdash and they need the Shamir. I could smell somebody's making the Shmak waffles. Amarei, Lididi, well, Masrui. So that's what I said. I don't have the Shamir. The Sara Diyama Masrui. The Shamir is given over to the prince of the sea. And who's the one who's supposed to watch it? The prince of the sea. He gave it over to the wild rooster who is believed to take the oath. By the way, who's this wild rooster? This is called the Duchifat, which is the Hupo, which has the distinction of being, anybody know what's this distinction? The national bird of Israel, Isaac. The Duchifat is a national bird of Israel, the Hupo. Did you know that? That's the one from today's daf. The Hupo is a national bird of Israel. It was in charge of watching the Shamir, but ironically, only in Israel would they make the national bird is not kosher. Israel made a national bird that's not kosher. That's what I'm trying to say. God willing, Isaac, God willing, to get your bracha. Baruch Hashem. So he says the Hupo is in charge of it, the Duchifat, my Avid. So what is this? What does he do? What does this Duchifat do to watch the Shamir? That the Duchifat takes the Shamir, brings it to a mountain that nobody lives on. And he places it underneath the mountain, and he breaks the mountain a little, like a little ditch. And he takes and he brings their seeds from the trees, and he puts them in that ditch, and you grow their trees, and that's how the Shamir lives. And that's why it says Nagar Tura. The Duchifat is called the wild hen. That is called Duchifat in Aramaic, which is the Nagar Tura, because he basically cracks the mountain. So Bad Kokina de Tarnagua, Barad Islay B'nai. So the messengers of Shlomo Melech found that the wild hen, it has a nest. And they covered up this nest with white glass. so that the hen will see its children underneath the glass and won't be able to get in. He'll have to bring the shamir to break the glass. So when the duchifa came, it couldn't get in. Also, I see shamira v'osvei. He brought the shamir and he put the shamir on top of the glass nest. Rama Beikala and Shaja. So he lifted up its voice and he brought the shamir. Shaklai. So then quickly the shliach of the king, the messenger, quickly took the shamir. So immediately when the duchifat heard this, it went and killed itself. Another reason why the state of Israel should not have picked the duchifat as a national bird, because he ended up killing itself because it didn't fulfill its mission. Bad omen. Amalei Benayo, so Benayo said to Ashmedai, my time says, tell me why you did everything. Why, when you saw this blind man, why, when you saw the blind man going on the path, did you bring it on its proper path? He said, Amalei, Machrazi Alei, Berakia, the Tzadik Gamarhu. He said, because in heaven they made a proclamation that he's a very righteous man. So he said, in heaven they made a proclamation that he was a very righteous man, and whoever will do good for this man will merit in the world to come. And what's the reason when you saw this drunk person on the road, you were so concerned, you helped him on his proper path? Amrullah, he says, they said he's a very wicked man. And they declared upon him in heaven that if you did good to this person, that way he won't get his reward in the world to come. And therefore I did it. And my time, why when you saw this wedding did you cry? Because he said, I knew that this man, the groom, would die within 30 days, and the wife would have to wait 13 years for Yibum. My time, why, when you saw the man buying shoes that will last for 7 years, did you laugh? He says, this guy I saw is not even going to last 7 days. Why is he buying shoes for 7 years? Some say this is a source. You're not supposed to wear the shoes of a dead man, because otherwise he could have given the shoes to his children. Why, when you saw that the magician was doing magic, did you laugh? Because I knew that he was sitting on top of the treasure house of the king, and he's doing magic. He should have just taken the magic from the treasure from underneath his feet, underneath the palace. And so then the Gemara says, Tarche gabe ad debanya lebeis hamikdash. So Shlomo Melech kept Ashmedai with him until the temple was built. Yom echad avekay day. One day Shlomo and Ashmedai were together, just the two of them. Amrullah, so Shlomo said to Ashmedai, Ksiv k'toafos re'eim lo. That HaKadosh Baruch Hu has mighty beasts in heaven to be his agents to carry out his deeds. These are the angels. These are the demons. So Shlomo said, what makes you better than me? You think you're better than me to carry out God's work? Why are you better than me? I caught you. You're my prisoner. So Ashmedai said, Shakul shushalta minai. Take off my chains. Give me your ring. I'll show you how good I am. Shlomo Melech was supposed to be the smartest man alive, but he did this rookie move. He removed the chains from the demon, gave him his ring. Immediately, Boe and immediately Ashmedai swallowed Solomon. He stuck one wing in heaven, one wing on the earth, and he threw Shlomo Melech 400 parsings. And then Ashmedai sat on the throne where Shlomo Melech had been sitting. At that moment, Shlomo said, what good is all the work that a person does underneath the heaven? This was my portion of all my lot. Once they all Solomon had at the end was his staff. The Chadamar Gundo said all Solomon had at the end was his garment. Shlomo Melech was walking along all of the doorways. He was begging for money. He says, whoever came, he says, I was Koheles, I was the king over Jerusalem. Kimate Gabi Sanhedrin, when Shlomo Melech came to the Sanhedrin, Amar Rabbanon, Michti Shota B'chadam Milsa Osarch. He says, a fool doesn't always keep saying the same thing. He doesn't keep saying the same thing over and over again. There's maybe something going on here. Why is Shlomo Melech keep saying the same thing? So they didn't know what was going on. So he says, the fool doesn't keep saying the same thing. So Amruel Benayo, they said to Benayo, go check it out. He said, as the king called you and invited him, he said, no. So they went to the queens. Has the king been visiting you? In, yes. So they said, in Kasi, Bidku Bakari. They said, have you checked his legs? Bemuki Kasi. No, he comes wearing shoes, so we can't see his legs. But the concept is that the demons have legs that are webbed. So that's how you know he's a demon. So he's wearing shoes. The Katavahu Benidu Sayil. Further than that, he always checks us. He always comes to us when we're in our Nida period. So it's not like Shlomo Melech. The Katavahu Namu about Sheva Ime. And not only that, he's also making he's trying to make a request from Bathsheba, his mother. As Shlomo. So then they came to Shlomo Melech. They came to Shlomo Melech and they brought the chain and the rings that have the name of God in them. When Shlomo Melech came there, they when Shlomo Melech came back, Hashmandai saw him parach and he flew away. He was still afraid of him. And that's what it says in the pasuk. He says that Shlomo Melech at that time the bed of Solomon was 60 mighty warriors surrounding him. They were all holding the sword because of the fear of the knights. And then Shlomo Melech was always afraid of Vashmadai. Rabbi Shmuel Chad Amar Melech V'Hedja, one says he was the king and a commoner. Chad Amar Melech V'Hedja V'Melech. No, he was a king, a commoner, he regained his throne. Obviously, it's a very, very deep Gemara that you can't take literally, Shlomo Melech and Ashmadai, but the basic message is that Shlomo Melech had a demon overtake his throne for a period of time, and this can explain a lot of the strange things that Shlomo Melech did, which seems to be inconsistent with the halachos of the Torah. All right, we'll stop here. It's beautiful daf. Big shkoyach to everybody.
Thank you.
Shkoyach.